Hello students, today we will learn the band theory of the materials from the chapter Metal Semiconductors and Superconductors. The band theory is actually based on the band diagram which we have studied in last lecture. So band theory that is useful for explanation of electronic properties of the materials, especially metals, semiconductors and superconductors. The electronic properties of these types of the materials can be explained on the basis of band theory. So band theory is based on the band diagram. So how the band diagram is formed on the basis of molecular orbital theory, so that we have studied in last lecture. So band diagram consists of two bands. You know that the bottom band is the valence band and the top band is the conduction band. And you know that valence band is nothing but bonding molecular orbitals of the materials. Conduction band is the anti-bonding molecular orbitals of the materials. Valence band is always filled, generally filled with the electrons or ions, and conduction band is generally vacant. So using this band diagram, on the basis of band theory, we can study the electronic properties of the materials. So let's start our discussion of this point with the first type of the materials, that are the metals. You know that metals consist of the free mobile sea of electrons. Mobile electrons are present in the metals. So that mobile electrons are flowing in the metals around the cations. So this type of the structure is present in the metal. Mobile sea of electrons are around the cations of the metals. So if we see the band diagram of the metals, what we will learn that, or what we can see, that energy increases from valence band to conduction band. So for the metals, this type of the gap is not present, band gap. What happens? You know that the cations and electrons are near by occupied in the metals. So there is no band gap observed in the metals. So what will be the band diagram of the metals? So let's see what will be the structure for the band diagram of the metals. So for metals, the band diagram will be like this. The valence band and conduction band are overlapped. You know that valence band is filled at the bottom in the band diagram. Conduction band is above, but here for metals it is overlapped. Means band gap energy here for metals is a 0 electron volt. That is the smallest energy unit used for the energy of the electrons. The electrons are present in the valence band of the metals, and conduction band antibonding molecular orbitals, that is empty. That may be for the cations, some cations. So electrons can excite after gaining energy, and that electrons conducts heat, electricity for the metals. So this type of the electronic properties of the metals can be explained on the basis of band diagram. So next type of the material, that is nothing but the semiconductor. You know that what is the semiconductor in electronics, that is applied in many electronic devices. Semiconductors are applied. So semiconductors are of the two types, pure and impure. Pure semiconductor crystals are silicon or germanium, that are called as intrinsic semiconductors, that are not conductive, non-conductive semiconductors. At higher temperatures they conduct electricity because electrons in that pure semiconductors get excited at higher temperature. Impure semiconductors have two types, N type and P type, that are actually used in PN junction diodes or NPN, PNP transistors or triodes. in the electronic devices, this impure type of semiconductors that are called as extrinsic semiconductors that are used. So let us study first what are the extrinsic semiconductors that are used in electronic devices. Extrinsic semiconductors are impure semiconductors, means silicon or germanium that are doped with impurity. So what are that impurities? That are impurities from neighboring groups. You know that silicon, germanium are present in the 14th group, 4A of P block. So here impurities are doped from group 13 and group 15 into silicon and germanium. Group 14 elements are, you know that after carbon carbon is present in this 14th group, that is non semiconductor but present in organic molecules. So group 13 elements like boron, gallium, indium, thallium that are doped into the group 14 semiconductors, and group 15 elements like phosphorus, arsenic, antimony that are doped into the silicon and germanium crystals. So by doping these impurities, introducing these impurities in silicon or germanium crystals, the extrinsic impure semiconductors are formed, which are useful for diodes and triodes and electronic devices. So how that are formed? N-type semiconductor, that is having negative charges, that are formed by doping impurities like group 15, like phosphorus if doped into silicon crystal. See here what happens. If this is the silicon crystal structure in which phosphorus is doped, what happens? Each silicon consists 4 covalent bonds. Phosphorus have the tendency of pentavalency. So here phosphorus makes one electron free in the silicon crystal, and that electron gives negative charge. Hence this type of semiconductor is called as N-type semiconductor, formed by doping introducing impurity of group 5th A or 15th group. And how the P-type semiconductor is formed? Second type of extrinsic impure semiconductor is a P-type, positive type. It is a positive type semiconductor giving positive charges. When in silicon and germanium crystals, if we dope or introduce the trivalent impurity like boron, so what will happen? You know that silicon has a tetravalency, 14th group. Boron has a trivalency. So there is a vacancy of one electron with the boron. So here holes are created, means positive charges are created in the silicon crystal, semiconducting crystal, and it becomes positive. This type of the semiconductor is called P-type semiconductors, formed by doping or introducing the group 13th or trivalent impurity with the 13th group 13 impurity. So in this way P-type positive semiconductor is formed. So if we see the band diagrams of this P-type or N-type material, semiconducting material, what are present in the band diagram? In a valence and conduction band, both have, this is valence band, this is conduction band. Both semiconductors, both type of the semiconductor, it is negative, it is positive, P-type positive, N-type negative, both have valence and conduction bands with their energy representation. So what we'll see in the band diagrams for P-type semiconductor, that is valence band is filled. For N-type also valence band is filled in silicon crystal, but it is doped. P-type is doped with boron, and N-type semiconductor doped with the pentavalent impurity like phosphorus, arsenic, etc. So here free electrons are there that are observed near to the conduction band, and here holes are present that are observed near to the valence band. So that is the difference. Here positive charges holes near to valence band, and here N-type semiconductor consists of negative charges or electrons near to conduction band. So that is the difference between band diagrams of P-type and N-type semiconductors. So in this way The electronic properties for cation, anion or negative electron charges are explained on the basis of band diagram. Okay, next third type of the material, that is superconductor, that we'll study in next lecture in detail along with semiconductors. Superconductors are that materials which have high conductivity and zero resistivity, zero resistance, that are used as a super magnets also, and that materials are cooled metals or their oxides. They have highest conductivity. So what will be their band diagram? Their band diagram will be like this. The valence band and conduction band are overlapped to each other. So no band gap, zero band gap, zero or negative band gaps are observed for the superconductors. For semiconductors, band gap are low. For metals, band gaps are zero. For superconductors here, the band gaps are negative or zero and the bands are overlapped. Now another type of the materials which are non-conductive, that are the fourth type of materials, that are nothing but the insulators. So what will be the band diagram for the insulators? Insulators, you know, that plastic, paper, any type of glass, that materials are insulators, non-conductive. So for that, the band diagram will be like this. The band gap is very highest. Conduction band and the valence band are far apart from each other. They have high band gap, high electron hole band gaps. The energy gaps are present between valence and conduction band. So in this way, we can explain the electronic properties in use of the materials using band theory. Okay, thank you.